Eugenia, thank you so much for joining me. That was a fascinating conversation. You have such a great vantage point here, founder of Replika, which obviously goes deep in sort of the consumer experience, talking to real people, obviously, mostly text, but some voice as well. Now with Wabi, you're building applications that are very, graphics intense. And so you maybe, or I'll just put it to you, how bullish are you based on that sort of variety of experience on voice? Are you voice pilled like much of the audience here?
I'm definitely bullish on voice, and first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. Definitely bullish on voice. We had voice from the very beginning in Replika. In fact, it was one of the first times people experienced that like back and forth voice experience. We're just talking to an AI. Whereas in previous years, it was pretty much usually just like a command, and then something happens, but maybe you'll get like a response back, but it was never kind of that duplex mode. It was really hard to build back in the day. But I always felt like voice is a fantastic extra interface. But right now, I feel like there are way too many people that believe that voice is kind of the final, ultimate interface, that everyone's going to just use everything through voice. And I think, in my experience, that's just not the case.
So this is our reality check panel, I think, in some ways. Why not lean in? Like, especially the Replika experience, you're sort of, it's a personal experience with the AI. I would think, voice only makes that a more intimate experience. Like, what do you think are the limiting factors on voice?
Well, I think it's very important to distinguish like voice as input. I'm a user of Whisperflow. I've been a user for many, for a long time now. I love it. Voice as input is great if you want to get something done fast. But voice in, voice out as a primary interface to whatever you're doing, say like, you need to get something done or whatever. I truly don't believe in it. I think the limiting factors are pretty kind of easy to lay out. Well, first of all, you can't really use reliably. There are very few situations in life where you can truly just rely on voice. If I can't just type or click on something, well, I kind of can't. Then I really can't do it unless I'm somewhere else by myself. I can't really do it in a loud location, and so on and so on. Discovery is almost impossible, unless I really know what I need to say, how I'm going to discover what can be done here. And of course, there have been tons of products that are reading stuff out for you, like the idea of like a personalized podcast. And I really think that's just really hard to nail, because again, it's asking me to commit a few minutes of my life without even knowing what's going to happen there. Most of what we do on our phones is feed-based. And it can only work if you can glance at it and decide, okay, interesting, not interesting, in just a split second and swipe to the next thing. But you can't do it with voice.
I mean, on the one hand, Alexa has it seems like it's capitulated and realized, people need screens to accompany it and don't want to totally rely on voice. On the other hand, obviously, we're communicating with the audience right now purely through voice without, nice image accompaniment. So it's clearly something baked in just how humans interact and gather information. I want to talk about Wabi for a second. Walk me through the vision. It's sort of building applications and sort of democratizing the ability that people can use AI tools to build applications. What applications are you seeing, and what's sort of the focus of the company right now?
So what we do is basically we're a platform for people to use personalized mini apps for their daily lives as consumer. So you can discover what other people built, you can remix those apps, or you can build your own ones. And they're pretty small, but the more you put them together, stack them, they all are built on one context. They can all, interact with each other. You can use it with other people and so on. And this company was really built with the idea that today we don't have a good interface for AI. Everything is a command line. Everything is a chatbot. And to me, that's the Microsoft DOS. There will be something that's a lot more GUI heavy. Why? Well, because there's so many new capabilities of these models, but regular people, or call them normies, still use it just for homework or whatever, writing tool, help, search, maybe talk to something. And these are the affordances of a command line. If you think about it, you look at it, what else can I do here? Discovering agent skills and all that, that's all prosumer behavior. And we're seeing how this is being really split right now, where people that really understand AI, prosumers, are heavily leaning in using all the crazy agentic capabilities. And like my mom and her friends, they're just stuck in the same way they've been using ChatGPT for the last 3-4 years. Nothing changed.
Yeah, I mean, a big challenge with AI is like it leaves the user to sort of figure out what to do with it. And you have a purpose-built application. It gives you the sense of like, this is what it's for. It shows you some sort of features, and you understand like what's the value to come out of it. Are there early applications that you're seeing people build that show some promise?
Yes, I think some of the most interesting ones for me on Wabi are the ones that are pretty much just like a simple UI on top of an agent scale or a prompt flow. So for example, if you want, like for example, I want daily workouts for me being generated. It's really nice for me to see them in a nice interface, to like change inputs, to add my friends so we can work out together, have like a little workout of the day for me and my 3 friends that we work out from the same gym. It's really cool that I can also give it all the context that we work out from, like fitness is F and Soma, and these are the machines that we have, and so on. So that really makes a simple UI a lot more powerful than an actual big full-fledged app on the App Store.
Do you see voice fitting into any of those applications?
Oh, 100%. Again, I really believe in voice as like one of the options of input and output. If you prefer, like if I'm driving, I would definitely want some stuff to be read out to me. We have a lot of cool apps that use voice capabilities. We use 11 Labs mostly.
But you want the app to sort of like organize what the capabilities are and sort of like give this like mental model of what this application is for people to do, and then sort of off screen can interact with it over voice.
Exactly. I believe that graphic interfaces are primary interface, pretty much better than any other interface for most things as a primary interface. And then text as voice are great supporting ones that you probably should have almost anywhere. Like you probably always want to have an ability to input things using voice. But it's just not, just making it a primary interface to like, okay, well now I'm going to have a screenless device and everything I'm doing with AI is happening through voice. I just don't believe anyone will ever use it.
To the replica experience, I mean, you know, I think one of the main selling points of voice is sort of the intimacy and sort of emotional connection. I think there's an argument that we're just sort of not there yet, and that the models are going to figure that out, and hopefully with voice to voice, maybe there's a better sense of what the emotionality is. I don't know, what lessons have you learned from replica in terms of just like what works in building sort of that real intimate connection with a user?
Well, if you think about emotional connection, what we learned, and I think it's obvious that what goes into it is a lot more those like things that happen around what actually is being said, like the intonation, the heavy breathing, and so on. Like when people say, well, we want something like what we've seen in the movie Her, they really think about Scarlett Johansson like heavily breathing in his ear when he's falling asleep, and you know.
Does Replica deliver that?
We don't, unfortunately. But
out of a sense of propriety, or?
Actually, we don't. Well, we rely on other people's models. It's not our strength is in knowing what makes a great conversation versus like building particular. Like, back in the day, we used to build our own voice models before they became widely available through APIs. Like back in the day, you couldn't really use any voice things. Like there was some Google models and Amazon, pretty bad quality text to speech. So we had to build our own stuff for more emotional, to recreate that emotional conversation. But of course, today there are companies specialize on that, and they're pretty good.
You know, Replica, it's like you have this like cartoon there. So you're like, it gives the sort of chat a sense of persistence that, you know, I think, you know, we talk about agents on stage, and sometimes it's just like, obviously there's a lot of back and forth, but it's one sort of interaction. Like, what are the lessons from this expectation from the user that it is a character with like a persistent sense, and like how much do you think that can be delivered on today versus you see sort of the characters like forget who they are and lose some of the context that people expect of a real companion?
Well, I think by 2030 we'll probably have 2 general purpose AIs. Today we just have one, most of us. Like, I mean, I kind of consider whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or Gemini, it's kind of the same thing. So like we have one assistant that we use, and it's mostly used for like, you know, knowledge work, information retrieval, search, and all that. I do believe, and today, because there's not much else, people go there to ask about their emotional stuff, and obviously do some whatever therapy there, or whatever similar to therapy. But I think that's only because we haven't seen something like what we've seen in the movie Her really, really built out well. And I think by 2030 we'll have one assistant and one friend. And friend can become your romantic partner, can stay a friend, can be whatever it is your like childhood trauma, that kind of shape it will take. But the difference is going to be a lot more proactive. It's going to be focused on helping you flourish. It's going to challenge you. It's going to push you to become a better person. And it's going to truly, truly like deeply know you. It's not going to be there to just like provide you information.
Have you found that in AI yet? Have you fallen in love with an AI today?
I think I've fallen with AI in 2012 and have been struggling to fall out of it.
With a particular like character that you've given a persona, or
No,
sort of the general sense?
I guess the general sense. But it's pretty hard to fall in love with something, especially when you know like how the sausage is being made. It's a little bit tough because you're always in this testing mode.
And you were telling me before, like you've created like different therapists where it's like go with, this therapist persona and this one, like Freud, whatever, Carl Jung, like, is that over voice or is that text, or how are you doing that?
You mean on Wabi or?
Yeah, or I thought it was Wabi, yeah.
Oh yeah, on Wabi I was trying to learn about psychoanalysis, so just created an app where I put in my situation, and then I have like 10 most famous psychoanalysts from Lacan to Laplanche to Freud basically give me their take on it.
Is that a regular practice, or is that sort of a gimmick?
I come to it once in a while. I have some apps that are used daily on Wabi and some that are just kind of more for fun. But I've been learning about I've been reading some of their books, so I've been going to that actually quite often.
Is that text or voice?
That is text, but you can input using voice. But I find it really boring to actually, instead of just reading and glancing through these answers, to actually sit there and listen for them to be read out loud. So I use text as input a lot, but not as output.
It feels like if there were great voice actors that really felt like they're historic characters, you could draw attachment. Anyway, we don't have enough time. Fascinating conversation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.